Hey everyone, back again with just another unboxing. I went on Amazon the other day and I ordered some LEDs, or COD LEDs, I believe they're called. They were like $12 for a pair of two. I'm going to use these on Project Pathfinder on the roof rack build for backup lights. I ordered two sets, so that's what we have here. Like I said, they're about $12 a piece, roughly. So let's get this open and let's take a look. I'm slurring my words, forgive me. UPS just now dropped this off at my front door, and I've got about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So, not functioning too well. Okay, so not too overly impressed with the packing here. You know, just some white sleeves, but not like they're all that exciting either. So, nothing to write home about. This is not exactly the easiest thing to open up with one hand, but as you can see, I'm figuring it out. So, here they are. Obviously, they're made in China. I'm going to go ahead and open up both of them, just because if there's any damage whatsoever, or any difference in quality, I'm sure you guys are going to want to know that. I think we're going to be fine just because of the simplicity behind these. Well, I was on a roll opening this, and then the last little piece wants to make it difficult. Okay, so let's thoroughly tear up the box like an idiot, so if there is something wrong, I can't return them. Like I said, I don't anticipate anything being wrong with them. I actually only paid like $10 for these because Amazon actually gave me a credit card and gave me $20 off because I was approved. So, pretty simple. There's nothing on this end, just the wire coiled up. I guess you'll probably want to know about how long this wire is, though. So, bear with me here while I pull this rubber band off. Okay, so wire's not all that long. I'm going to anticipate that we got about 2 feet of wire here. Okay, wire gauge is really small, which is very typical of automotive LED, aftermarket automotive LEDs that are on the low dollar end. Very, very, very small. I don't even know what gauge that is. Paper thin. This was, like I said, that's very typical. Like if you go to AutoZone and you buy those LED strips that they sell that are probably about 6 inches long or whatever, the wire is very, very thin on them too. These are 100% waterproof. They stick to whatever you mount them to with 3M double-sided tape. The frame on these is aluminum. Yeah, some sort of like coated aluminum. There's no seams visible on the front, and it's almost just essentially a cap. The yellow part you're seeing here, which is actually the LEDs, there's like some sort of a silicone or rubberized coating over the top of it. So that's why they're waterproof, because essentially the wires go into a strip where you have all these LEDs, and it's just completely sealed over, and then they just put this metal frame around it. So again, nothing overly exciting. The reason why this is yellow is because the LEDs on here are a little different from what you typically see on normal LED lights. These LEDs, like I said, let me make sure I'm reading this correctly. I don't know if they say on here, but you guys can read this too. I'll put an annotation in here if I'm correct, or if I'm not correct, and what I'm saying. But there's COD, like COD or something like that, LEDs. I may have the acronym for that wrong. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll put an annotation if I'm incorrect. The link for these will also be in the description, so you can go find that out as well. The link where I found them on Amazon. If you do choose to purchase on Amazon, it does help me out because I am an affiliate. So, that out of the way. That's why these are yellow. And get back on subject here. The entire thing lights up evenly, okay? One big solid white light here, perfectly even. So that's something for you guys to keep in mind when if you guys feel like you want to buy these. It's a very solid, even light. Yes, the yellow is all the way across, and some people may have a problem with the yellow. I thought I would, but they're so small. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It's not going to be any more of an issue for me visually than, the amber taillight lens that's on my taillights of my truck. So I'm going to use 2 on each side of the roof rack. Well, depends. I've got to light these up. I got to find out how powerful they are. And if, there's no lens on here, so they're not designed to really project light. But the goal is to use them as reverse lights on there, so hopefully they'll project enough where it'll make make it worth it. But the goal was to use 2 of them like this with a slight gap, mount them, and on each side. So there'll be 2 here and then like 2 over here on the roof rack. I'll show you guys a picture of the roof rack in a quick second. You can see the 2 rear panels on there that they'll be mounted to. The wiring will all be tucked in nice and neat, and everything will be good to go. If I don't like them, I'll do a follow-up video with you guys once they're actually installed, and we'll go from there. If I don't like them, it's no big deal because they're just double-sided tape. I could just scrape them off and there'll just be 2 holes drilled, or maybe even just 1 hole drilled where the wire goes through. Then I could put a different light on there if I so choose to. But I figure this wouldn't hurt to give it a try, especially since the measurements on these are really small. These things are tiny as far as their height is concerned. I don't think I see measurements on these at all on the box. But they're about 6.5 inches long. This is ballpark, okay? Go to Amazon. Click on the link in the description. They'll tell you the exact measurements. But they're about 6.5 inches long and just short of 1 inch tall. So my working space on my roof rack for that mount is about 2 inches. There may be a little bit of fluctuation there because I'm dealing with round tube for the top support and the bottom support. So it may be 2.25 to 2.5 inch of actual working space. between the tubing if I had to put you know, like a grommet style backup light in there. If I don't put a grommet style backup light, anything that's mounted to the surface, you know, then I've got 4 inches of vertical space to deal with. The width is really up to me. I was looking at potentially doing about 7-8 inches wide for that mounting plate. We'll see. I'm going to play that one by ear. So anyway, that's the lights. Like I said, nothing overly exciting. Don't order these things and think that they're the top quality things that you're ever going to buy in the entire world, because they're just simply not. This wire gauge is so thin that if you wiggle this around enough, you may actually even potentially have issues with the wire breaking. So, you know, they're bottom of the barrel, low end. I don't care. They're backup lights. If they turn on and they light up well enough, that's all I care about. It saved me money. Would I use them in a production setup? Most likely not. But we'll see. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys a quick video or a quick still image of the roof rack so you can see what that's going to look like, so you have a better idea of where these are going to mount to. Sit tight. After that, I'm going to show a quick video of these things lit up and give you guys an idea of how bright they are. So talk to you guys in a second. Okay, everyone, I got them connected to a power supply that you would have like on pretty much anything in your house. It has a little power pack that plugs into the 120 volt outlet and powers up something that actually runs on DC. You can do this, you just need to be smart about it. I just have it plugged into like that little bullet style connector that those power packs typically have. Every power pack will give you its power ratings on there. The input's not important because, it's going to be 120 volts, should be no matter what. The output's what you need to look at. Anything that you're going to run off of a 12 volt system, you need to make sure the power pack's a 12 volt power pack. It'll tell you the amperage limitation on the power pack, so don't exceed that. If you don't know what the amperage is on your device that you're plugging into it, let me explain it like this. Amperage is drawn. It's not supplied. Okay? You have a stockpile of amperage, and whatever you plug in demands that it has a certain amount of amperage flow to it. So with that being said, you can't supply too much amps. You could just not have enough amps. When you don't have enough amps, you could potentially heat up the wires and cause problems in your power supply. So, or it just won't work. These are all low voltage, so it gets a little bit complicated, but that's the best way I can sum it up for you. I'm no electrician, so, Anyway, the lights are lit up. This is pretty much how I'm going to have them mounted on the roof rack. Obviously, the two sets will be separated quite a bit more. I'm not sure what that measurement will be, but quite a bit more. They're kind of flickering right now, but that's not because they're bad. I just have a very poor connection on the power supply, so when my hand's shaking around, they're flickering a little bit. So anyway, I'm in my bedroom. Yes, I'm shooting this video in my underwear. No, I don't plan on showing you that. UPS showed up right when I was sleeping, so don't plan on showing you my underwear. So I didn't think it mattered, but I thought I would let you know just because. I'm not really keen on showing you my bedroom, but I'm sure my fiance won't like it. But this is the darkest room in the house without me going down into the basement, and I'm not going into the shop for a little while, so I wanted to shoot this video. So I'm going to show you my bedroom and let you see the light difference in here. So here we go. You see that I got light coming in this door. I got a little bit of light coming in this window. What you're seeing here, the camera's adjusting for the light a little bit. So the camera is showing it to be a little bit brighter than I actually see it with my eye. But I'm going to flick this on and off a couple of times so that you can actually see the difference. and it's pretty accurate. So here we go. I would say it's just slightly over exaggerated, but not too much. Okay, it's pretty close representation of what's actually going on here. So they are very, very bright. They do, when you have two sets like this, they do project really, really well. They're not going to project enough to use them for headlights or anything like that. They are marketed as daytime running lights, which it would be awesome for because they're very, very bright when you're looking at them. And people would have no problem seeing those in broad daylight. You're not going to see anything on the road yourself, but people will see those lights. You couldn't use them, like I said, for a headlight or a fog light, really. They will make a little bit of difference right in front of your car, but they're not going to project out so much that it's going to be a big difference. I guess you could be one of those tacky people that puts like 10 of these on the front of your bumper, and I'm sure at that point it'll make a difference, but that's not me. However, like I said, these are a lower end light, but I could find a million different uses for these things. And because the light is so uniform across the LED bar, that makes it a huge plus for me. You don't have any hot spots like you typically do with LED lights with each individual LED. I mean, if you look super, super close and at that point you're having issues with it blinding you, you can see the individual LEDs on there, but they're so close together that you don't have that hot spot effect. And by the time you actually see them, you're giving yourself spots in your eyes by staring into the light like that. So, you could use these under your dash. You could use these things, speaker boxes, center consoles. You could even use them for dome lights, man. These things would light up your interior, something serious. They're brighter than any reverse light I've ever seen on pretty much anything, with the two sets anyway. So, very pleased, very, very pleased with the product. I feel like it's going to do its job very, very well. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, comment, like. Check out alvarezmetalworks.com. Like us on Facebook. If you guys... follow me on Twitter if you guys are on Twitter. If you guys are into off-roading and you're from the New York State area, I'm going to put another link down in the description for upstate4x4.com. That's my 4x4 club. Feel free to join the forum and share what you're working on with the members on there. So, anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Oh. The link for this will also be in the description. So, talk to you guys later.